Hello and welcome into another edition of Temple Timeout. I'm Vince Coll.
And I'm Hofsass. We have a packed show for you today. We're going to be talking about men's basketball and the women's team, and then we're going to take a look at the gymnastics team and their record-breaking season.
And also, Zach Gelb from Fox Sports Radio is going to join us to talk about the men's basketball team and the player of the week. You're not going to want to miss that this week.
We have all that and more, but first, let's take a timeout.
Okay, and now kicking things off with men's basketball, here we are welcoming on Drive Time radio host for the Zach Gelb Show on 920 The Jersey. Zach, you followed Temple men's basketball during your time here at Temple, and now professionally, the Owls lose another close one on Wednesday to UConn, and they now have 11 conference losses. That's more than your junior and senior basketball seasons here combined. What, in your mind, is kind of the reason for this off year?
Those are some great stats. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But real quickly, I think it's three things. Injuries, number one, Josh Brown and Trey Lowe. We hope Trey Lowe ends up being okay. A lack of consistency with Obi Adnechionia. And then finally, just a lack of talent. They're relying on Daniel Dingle late in games. Dan's a nice player, not a great player. And then Mark Williams, I don't want to see him shooting threes at the end of the game, and that's what you're seeing. So the combination of those three things, really why this team is struggling this year.
And Zach, you know I'm an optimistic person. I don't think that it's so far-fetched for Temple to be relevant in the AAC tournament. You know, they played Cincy tight both times that they played them. Do you think that Temple has a shot in the conference tournament?
Maybe they could win a game, but there's a reason why they're 5-11 in the conference, 14-15 on the season. I like Rose. I like Alani Moore. They have some young pieces. But to win this tournament, I'm going to put it at a less than 5% chance. This team is just too inconsistent, and that's what we've been seeing all year.
And Zach, thank you for joining us. There you have it, Zach Gelb joining us from Trenton. And I know we could talk about this longer, but that's all we have for today. So Zach, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
And now moving on to the women's basketball team. As you know, last week they were in the news because they were actually came in at number 23 in the rankings for the first time in over 11 years, and we know all about that. But on Wednesday, they went in. They went up to Connecticut, and Bree, they got doubled up. The score was 90-40 here. Even if you just see here, it's 70-35 with 8 minutes and 42 seconds left. Yeah, make that 72-35. And they are now, they came into that game at number 23 in the polls. Do you think that the Owls deserve to stay in the top 25, even with this loss to UConn?
Well, first let's credit them for holding UConn to under 100 points. That's always a little win there. But, I think that they should definitely stay in the top 25, but you can't be a top 25 team and then get doubled up on your score. That's just not acceptable. But I think it's going to depend more on how these other teams that are hovering right around that bubble are going to do. Missouri and Michigan, they're right below Temple. So it depends on how they do. USF at Temple and them have been kind of in a back and forth battle all year so far. I think that they should definitely stay in the top 25 because UConn is a dynasty in all essence of the word.
Yeah.
So dropping them out of the top 25 for losing to UConn, that's a discredit to UConn.
Yeah, and let's really look into this UConn win streak because it's of course an NCAA record, and the Lady Huskies have not lost a game in 831 days.
Wow, the last time that they lost, we were still in high school.
Yeah.
But even going off of that, they're on a 102-game win streak, and of those 102 games, only 3 have been decided by less than 10 points, and they have 75 consecutive AAC wins. And I don't think that they've lost in the AAC since they've come from the Big East.
No, their last loss documented was in the Big East. So yeah, they actually have never lost a game in the American Conference. But regardless, what this means for Temple is, they shouldn't be too hurt, from this game moving forward, towards the NCAA tournament, because in the latest ESPN women's bracketology, they were listed as a number 7 seed. So I think that will be, it's still a good sign for the Lady Owls.
Yeah, we're going to take it now from the hardwood to the mat. We got a chance to take a look at the gymnastics team, and let me just tell you, I thought that I was an athletic person.
Same.
All that went out the window after watching what these ladies can do.
Yeah, I've never seen so many humans flip in so many ways that they did, but regardless, we got an all-access pass, basically, because we had to film a package for Temple Update yesterday that aired on the 10 a.m. show, but we saw, all of they actually have an open practice as well from 2 to 5.
I'm going to start going and
yeah,
watching.
I seriously recommend it to anyone, but regardless, they've been in the news,
And here you have Daisy Todd right now. She's one of their freshmen, and she's actually one of the team's leaders. She's the number 1 in the conference on bars, as you can see her doing. Just watch her dismount. Oh, she was special to watch.
Yeah.
And the team has broken their school record of 194.
They're excited about it, and of course, it's great breaking all these records, but they know that we're definitely capable of doing a lot more.
I'm excited to continue following all their success.
Yeah, and now to our final segment of today's show, the Player of the Week. We kind of went through a little bit of consideration here, but ultimately we gave the Player of the Week to Fionda Fitzgerald. She's staying hot. Here's her. Here we go. Here, Temple Timeout Player of the Week. But here's her USF highlights, because she was really getting it going, Bree.
Oh, she's been getting it going all season. But, in USF against the Bulls, she really took it to them. She had 23 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals. I mean, she's been the anchor for this team so far this season, and she's so humble. Look, there she hits the 3. So effortlessly. Here she goes again. She's such a playmaker for this team. And actually, she averages 7 assists a game, and she leads the conference in most assists per game, which I think you have to remember, UConn is in their conference, and UConn, like we were talking about earlier, their dynasty is parallel to none. So to be a stat leader in anything in the conference when you have a team like that, that's just so impressive. And she averages, like I said, 7 assists. That's an amazing stat.
Yeah, I think this is a must pick this week. Some notable people. We had Obi Nechionia drop 17 points.
After he's been kind of in a scoring rut.
And he's been so that was good to see. But ultimately, we had to give it to Fee. And that concludes that Player of the Week segment.
That's all we have for Temple Timeout this week. As always, be sure to follow us at TU_SportsDesk and check out our Sports Desk tab on TempleUpdate.com. For Vince Coll, I'm Bree Hofsass.